As you probably noticed, my laptop's still not working. You're just going to have to cope with the increasingly ridiculous intros at the moment. I'm parked on a very rainy day in this old bloody nail. Have a listen to the sound of this. Touring car. So today I'm in my Ford Focus long roof bike transporting shooting brake situation. Makes it sound a bit posher than it is when you say shooting brake, but actually it's a clapped out thing with exhaust problems and a misfire, but never mind. So what's under the sheet is the question. It is a 1975 Peugeot 101. Let's have a look at it in a bit more detail. So here it is. I bought it from a bloke called Pete who's owned it from brand new. He bought it in Germany when it was posted there in 1975, and he used it from going between his digs to where he was working when he was in the army. So he said it wasn't worth starting the car up. It's pretty much all there from what I can see. It's missing a grip, and it's missing he said it was missing the tyre pump, and also the tools are missing out of the toolbox, but the rest of the toolbox is there, just the lid's missing. So that's pretty cool. He wasn't sure if it was seized or not because he couldn't pedal it over, but it ain't. It's got compression, so that's good. So yeah, it's all pretty good. The problems I've noticed with it so far, the kickstand interferes with the bolt that comes out the back of the exhaust. So that'll need looking at. It's only got half the number plate, unfortunately. And that's it. So let's see if we can get it. Oh yeah, it's got a little switch, a bit like a motorbike, so that you can pedal it on that flywheel thing. So you can pedal it or use the engine. But neither seem to engage the engine, so I'm going to have a look at the mechanism. And yeah, what else can I tell you? It was last running in 1985. He brought it over here in 1978 or 79, he's not sure, to get it registered with the DVLA, which is why it's T-Reg instead of N. I think it would have been N-Reg if it was 75. Decompressor works. And if it'll focus, which it won't. There you go. There's everything you need to know. It says 75 and all the bump with it. Headlights in good nick, tail lights in good nick. So yeah, it shouldn't take too much getting on the road. I also love, it's got the original German dealer stickers on it. There's another one. So yeah, it would have had a tyre pump under here, but yeah, let's see if I can get it sorted. There's also the fuel tank looks alright, but I can't really get a decent view in there, unfortunately. Yeah, the fuel tank's looking good, at the top at least anyway, but of course my endoscope doesn't work at the moment because I don't have my laptop, so there we are. So yeah, dead pleased with that, and it was a bargain as well. So it's a lovely summer's day here in Britain. It's pissing it down. I've got to drive around in my station wagon with the window open so that it doesn't fill up with fumes. I just thought I'd do a bit of a takeoff so that you can hear the sound of the exhaust and the misfire that's going to happen as soon as I set off. Okay, here goes. Yeah, this isn't embarrassing to drive. I borrowed a screwdriver from work to see if I can get the top cover off, but the screws, all of them except one, are frozen in, so I'll probably have to impact drive it So while we're here, let's have a quick look at what I might find once I'm under it. So it would appear, let's see if we can get some focus. There is the airbox under there, carburetor, massive long intake tube going into the cylinder. Here is the stator, and it all looks pretty good under there, really, I think. There's your points, I think. Yep, sorry, I'm looking through the camera, I can't quite see what I'm looking at. Come on, focus. There's your points. It moves nice and freely. It seems like it's got good compression as well, which is nice. There's the back of that flywheel situation there. Exhaust's an interesting beast, I like that. It's got the Motor Brigade style nut thing holding it on. Yeah, it all looks pretty clean, really. It's missing, that one's broken and that one's not there, but they're the little rubber things that hold the stator cover on, which seems like it's made of like thin aluminium, really, but it's nice. I like it. It's a nice feature. No rear suspension. It's got block brakes on the front. Actually, I'll show you these calipers because they're teeny weeny. Let's go around here. Look at those calipers. What are they? A mil thick? Maybe 1.5, 2 at the most. Tiny calipers. Tank's held on by one bolt, which will make it easy to take off and clean if I need to. Removable tanks are the way forward, guys. Wheels seem to spin freely. The tyres are the original tyres that came with it in 1975, and there's only a little bit of dry rot on there because apparently he's had it undercover its entire life, so I'll try and get it back to being undercover as soon as I can. Get that bloody shed built. But yeah, Pete was a really nice bloke, really chatty, told me the story of the thing without being asked and everything. Just a really nice bloke. I could have stayed and talked to him for hours. So yeah, there we are. Did it have a speedo? I don't think it did. Nope, just a blank, so no idea on mileage. There's your headlight switch. The chrome on the handlebars has seen better days, but I don't mind so much. It's all character, isn't it? Yeah, I love it. So this box arrived yesterday. Let's check it out. Can you guess what's in it? Something that's very difficult to open with keys. I'll put you down a sec and open it up. Here we are, continuing the unboxing video. What would you say that is? What we have here is most of a Trojan mini motor. For those of you that don't know about them, these are cycle attachments. I think this one's from early 50s, I guess. So after the war, people needed a cheap way of getting around, so they developed lots of different cycle attachments which basically attach onto a bicycle to make it into a motorcycle. And this is one of them. Looks good in there. Look at that. I'm impressed with that. This was the bargain price of 30 quid. Now, it's missing some stuff. There's some sort of big piece of metal that I think comes off there to attach it to the bike, which we don't have. Flywheel is missing. That's the stator plate, is it? That whole thing moves. That's interesting. The exhaust is missing. So what happens is, oh, carb's missing as well, look. than the intake. What happens is, this motor, it has controls, handlebar controls, which are also missing. So there is quite a lot missing, hence why it was so cheap. But it sits on your back wheel, like that, and powers this drive roller. Oh, turns over with compression. Well, hey. It drives the wheel with this sort of like frictiony, it's almost like sandpapery type stuff, or brake lining material, which will power the back wheel, which is cool. Let's see if we can see a decent view of the piston in there. There we are. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. Now, the story behind this is, it was on eBay from a bloke called Tim from Diss in Norfolk. Now, Tim is a blacksmith, and he'd been to the scrapyard to bring some stuff to get weighed in, and he saw this and went to go ask if he could liberate it, and they said yeah, and then told him that actually there was another two somewhere, but they were irretrievable because they'd gone up into the big pile of stuff that was going to be melted down, and they couldn't get them out. So there could have been 3 of these saved, but at least he did manage to save one. So I was chatting to Tim for quite a while on text. He seems like a nice bloke, and yeah, it only went for 30 quid, so got myself a bargain there. Now, in order to register these with the DVLA, they need to be attached to a bike of the same age, roughly. So I need to somewhere find a 1950s bike to go along with the other bits I need. But I like a challenge, and it'll be nice to get it going, and it's been saved from the scrap heap, so that's good. Trojan were a company, they used to make these under license. They were originally an Italian design, and they made these under license for the British market. Trojan also used to make 2-stroke vans for Brook Bond T, which are quite interesting. If you look at 2-stroke Brook Bond T van up on YouTube, on Google, sorry, they look like quite interesting vehicles. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with this. It's my first cycle motor, or clip-on, as they're known. You can see where it hinges. Look, I imagine that bit attaches to the saddle post on your bike. That's where it hinges up, and I really don't know quite what the mechanism involves that attaches them together, but I'm going to find out, and then I'm going to build it, make it work, and then I'm going to ride around town on it looking like a complete idiot. Right, I've been doing a bit more learning about this thing thanks to a great website which I'll link in the description. They made them, they were available in the UK rather, from 1949 to 58, I want to say, and I'm pretty sure by the engine number on it, it's a really early one. It's a Mark 1, and I would say it's probably about 1950. I'm hoping for 49 because I don't have anything from the 40s, but I think it's roughly a 1950 model, which is quite cool. The engine number is NA231. Now, there's no mention of what the N means. Apparently, if it's got a Z prefix, then it is a Miller mag set instead of a Banter mag, and this one's a Miller. So all I can think is, unless it's a, let's see if we can zoom on it. Yeah, that's not a Z, is it? So who knows on that one. It's the other reason I think it's an early one is because it doesn't have a decompressor. So there's a really fun way of starting these where you roll them back till you hit compression and then roll it forward, so it's got nearly a full revolution before it hits the compression. Just to show you the stickers on this as well, if I can get it to focus, which is quite hard. It's not going to do it, is it? Ah, there we are. So Trojan were based in Croydon in London, and like I said before, they made 2-stroke cars and light commercials as well. Reflectors in good nick. This one doesn't look to have had a huge amount of use. It's in quite good nick, and also one other thing about it, if I Take the fuel cap off it. It has a very long thread. It's got this nifty little thing on it which says 4 measures per tank. So there's your little 2-stroke measuring thing. It runs at 20 to 1, so 4 measures of that to, I think it takes a gallon in here. Or no, I think actually it's 3 measures to a gallon, so it must be just over a gallon on here. So yeah, anyway, there it is. I'm excited about that. It needs quite a lot of bits to it. It's a bit more of a long-term
Thanks for watching,
project.
guys. I'm really stoked about both those projects. The Peugeot's
a
really decent, clean, honest bike, and the Trojan's a bit like something I tried to make out of a petrol lawnmower engine when I was a kid to put on my bike. So there's the link to the Google Plus in the description, and I'll be back next week. And in the meantime, I'm going to spend the whole week wandering around this bus.